Good afternoon, everyone. I want to share about um, this relationship that I had in the past, and um, a lot of people been going through a lot of difficulties in their life, and I wanted to share a little bit about mine in the past. So I used to date this one guy. I thought that he was the one and only. He understand where I was coming from. He understand it's kind of weird. It was like he knew what I was thinking about, and you know, it was just everything was groovy at one point, but then he started saying all these crazy stuff like he's a very lazy person, and it don't matter that he's not going to change for nobody. And I thought that when if you're in love with somebody, you're willing to change anything and everything. But man, that person got me good. Like, I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, well, we'll see if you're going to change with me then, And it was a very odd relationship because when I came over his people's house, his parents' house and stuff, because that's where he lived at, you know, I was just surprised that his mother was folding up his clothes, putting in his chest, on where you put the clothes away, hanging up his clothes if needed, cleaning his room. Like, you ain't a king like that, bro. And I always ask, the lady, I'm like, why are you cleaning and washing your son's clothes? I'm like, he's literally like 25 years old. Like, why are you doing this? Like, he's grown enough to do it himself. And then she said, well, he's a little lazy and this and that. I didn't believe it. I'm like, until I had to see it with my own eyes, guys. And like, people just don't understand, when you date somebody, you're supposed to be on your best behavior. I understand that you want to show them that or tell them that you are a lazy type of person, but you can't be that fucking lazy. Excuse my French. But if you're dating somebody, you need to, like, step it up. If you want to date somebody, you're gonna have to do some type of changes. You can't just be stuck in your old ways and expecting them to just go ahead and like accept you however you are. Eventually the female's gonna get tired of it. So I don't know what he was thinking, that doing that for years. I don't know why I kept going back, because like literally we broke up like 4 or 5 times throughout the years and stuff. And but every fucking year, I don't know what the fuck I was thinking about back in those days, teenagers. I'm like, once you break up with the person, I recommend y'all don't go back, because y'all gonna just go through a freaking loop. Yeah, that person might change for a couple months that y'all been single, like 3 4 months. Say that you've been single for that long, and you see that that person is improving. You see that he finally got a job, or you see that he's changing. It's a lie. It's a lie. Don't fall into that trap. Don't fall into that trap. I'm telling you, because as soon as you get back in that relationship, give it 1 month, he's gonna fall back and do the same shit. And that's the same shit that happened to me. But I was dealing with a narcissist. With the narcissist. So I already know. I already know the game, how y'all narcissist people be like. I'm like, y'all want to put people in a guilt trip or trying to flip things back at that person? Nah. I'm a grown ass person now. I'm not blind. I see everything. I see it. And it's funny how, like, now that I think about it and I think back to that previous relationship, I'm like, oh my God, I was so stupid for going back and giving him chances after chances. Like, Jesus. But like, for real, all right, so like, the reason I was going back, because I felt bad for the person. This person was married to some other person and they had a kid, and and he was going through like a lot of abuse, like mentally abused and stuff, and physically abused with his baby mama. he kept saying that baby mama kept putting hands on him when they were together and all this. Like, you know how it is in a relationship. You tell them your story of the things that you've been through, but what they don't find to think about, even though that we broke up, you should think about all the good things I did for you. And that's the problem with a lot of people. They don't think about the good things that that person did for them. I'm like, they're just like crybabies, freaking crybabies. Like, oh, it's that person's fault. They cheated on me and this and that. I'm like, nah, it's not just me. It's not just me. I'm like, look at yourself. Look at yourself before you talk. So with that said, so this is what happened the first year. This is gonna be a crazy story for April Fool's Day. So the first year that we decided to like break up and stuff, this guy actually came all the way from Hagerstown to Germantown. That's where I used to live with my parents. And instead of coming to my house, we met up behind a warehouse, not a warehouse, behind like the shopping centers, because I don't know why he was so scared to come over to my house. I had to meet him all the way over there. What the fuck is that? But anyways, I went over there because he was trying to try to fix the relationship and stuff. And this is one of the narcissist shit that he did to me and made me feel guilty. He threw himself on the floor. He threw himself on the floor and faked the seizure. And I know that he had seizures in the past, but he hasn't had a seizure ever since then and stuff. But for someone to go ahead and do that, to make you feel like shit and throw himself on the ground and had a fake seizure. I know how seizures look like, and that was no damn seizure. He was just, trying to get me under his hand, I'm like, what the fuck is that, yo? It's hilarious that this shit happened to me. And like at that time, I took the seizures very serious because I have a little brother that he had some intense seizures, and it was like whenever he had a seizure, I put him on the side and yell for mom and dad, and hopefully it'll go away within 2 minutes. Otherwise we had to take him to the hospital. Like, it was very dramatic for me back at that time. So that was like something that really got to me. And when someone faked a seizure like that, made me feel like shit. And as soon as I said, no, this is the funny part. As soon as I said, okay, I'm not going to break up with you. We good. He stopped having a seizure. What is that? I'm like, no. That's real narcissist shit. Like, for real. All right. So, the time goes by. I'm like, and I'm still not I'm still not happy. You feel me? But so every weekend we had to go pick up his daughter at his mother's house. And the first day that I went over there, I remember that there was one weekend that he called, and they were on the phone, and I can't remember if I was driving or he was driving. I think I was driving. And they had a huge argument over the phone, and I almost caused an accident because they're arguing next to me and shit over the phone and stuff. And I'm like, dude, hang up on the fucking bitch. I'm trying to focus on driving. You're fucking over here arguing. I almost got into a fucking car accident, this and that and the third, right? So then, he clicked on her, and I'm like, this is the shit that I always go through, He's over here all boo-hooing, crying that his baby mama, disrespects him and all this stuff. I'm like, well, during the time that every weekend I start going with him to go pick up his daughter, because he was always so scared to confront her or something. I'm like, but once me and his baby mama start knowing each other, okay, I'm like, yeah, I'm the new girl. I'm like, I didn't really confront her and tell her that you need to change and stuff, but I'm not going to allow you to talk to him like that, because we're two grown ass people and you could talk to him instead of yelling at him. I don't care of what y'all had in the past, but right now y'all have to work this out for the better of y'all daughter. And I don't appreciate that y'all were arguing while I was driving, almost got into a car accident. That's not cool. That's not cool. But besides that, the following year, I tried to break up with the guy again. Telling you, I wanted out on this relationship, but every year it was something different. Every year it was something different. He pulled something out of his ass just to make me stay. And it got to the point that he had his own daughter to make me stay. Please don't leave. She cried and she's like, please don't leave. We need you and this and that. I'm like, it's hard to say no to kids. And that's why it's very hard to, be in a relationship with people that have, kids and stuff. I'm like, because it's really hard to let go. It's really hard. I'm like, once you get attached to them, it's really hard to let go, even though they're not my kids and stuff. I'm like, you just can't. It's really hard to let go. God said, let the kids come to me. Let the kids come to me. I'm trying to follow the role of God. So obviously I stayed. And then the third year happened. And I wanted to leave again. And I'm like, I'm done with this relationship because this guy, I swear, his house, his room was always a damn mess. There was like, he'd never eat healthy. Everything was junk food. McDonald's. Burger King. And you'll see all these McDonald's cups all over his room, like a hoarder, like a real hoarder, guys. And, me living in that type of environment sickens me. I try to clean so many times, but what was the point of me cleaning when he made another fucking mess and the next day, And I'm like, I just got so tired of dealing with a boy. I got tired of dealing with a narcissist, childless boy. And it got to the point that, I wasn't happy, and I start having really bad anxieties. I start having really bad depression. Every time when fall came around, fall and winter, I'll just fall into a great depression because I wasn't happy with my relationship. I wasn't happy with myself, and I've been trying to get out of it, but it's always something. And then there was this one year that I moved out of my parents' house and I moved in his house, and this guy literally, I think he either got fired or he just quit. And I asked him to look for a job. And I was traveling from Hagerstown to Gaithersburg, Maryland every day because I was working at the hotel at that time. And it was very difficult with the commute and everything. And he was not helping at all. He was not even trying to clean the house. Nothing. He didn't do shit. He was always on his fucking phone, yo. That phone is a fucking distraction. I'm telling you. I'm like, y'all need to like stop with your phones, like for real. It got to the point that, that a whole year I've been telling him, you need to find a job or else we're done. And he's like, oh yeah, I found a job. I've found a job. Oh, I've been applying. Fucking liar. I lived with this guy for a full year, and he never found a job. And I got tired of that shit. I broke up with him again for the fifth time. I can't remember. I lost track. And this guy, after I broke up with him, and I didn't see him for like a couple months, this time I waited. I'm like, nah, I don't want to go back to this relationship and this and that. And then, of course, our best friend got in the middle of it. He was like, he called me up and he was like, yo, Cedar, 47 is doing the best he can. He finally got a job. And I'm like, oh, after 3 months, he finally found a job. Now that I moved out and everything. I'm like, what's wrong with these people? These fucking narcissists, yo. These fucking narcissists think that we females are stupid, that you're supposed to live off of us, and y'all supposed to be happy, that y'all supposed to be pampered and not putting any type of work, any type of effort. I'm like, nah. I'm like, oh, okay, good for him. I'm happy that he find a job. And he was like, oh yeah. I'm like, he really misses you. He looks very down. He seems depressed. I'm like, yeah. I'm pretty sure he's depressed because look at the shit that he did to me. I'm like, and now I'm like, and and not only that, guys. This is kind of embarrassing right here about what I'm about to say, but so when it came down to the action, the action, but bow bow, it wasn't there. Like, it got to the point that I was just not happy. I just didn't want to go back to the relationship because I needed someone to D me down. And I wasn't getting in that relationship, so I was like, what's the point of me going back to him? But you know how friends are, they want to put people back together and stuff. And I don't know why in the hell I listened to my friend. I'm like, but I went back like a dumbass. After 5 months of being split, I went back like a dumbass. Like, I fell back into the trap, and I was telling him, like, I don't really want to be with you because, you only want some like once every 2 weeks. Who does that shit? That's not normal. I want it every day. I was a teenager, so I'm like, yeah, hell yeah, I want that shit every day, and multiple times a day if it's possible. But it was like impossible for him, He's like, I can't do this no more. He was complaining. I'm okay, you can't do this no more. All right, bye. I don't got time for you. I'm done with this. But like, I don't know. I try to change. Like, it got to the point that I was always depressed again because I got back to this relationship and stuff. But yeah, like, I don't know why that I went back with that person because I knew I wasn't happy. And I'm not gonna lie, like, I actually cheated on this person several times. I decided to just, like, if I'm not happy and he's not willing to let me go and he keeps harassing me, he keeps finding a way back in my life, I'm like, well, he's going to have to set the next challenging thing. And, I decided to start cheating on his ass because he was not letting me go. He was not letting me free. He always wanted me around. And when he found out that I was cheating on him, I admitted it. Hell yeah. A lot of cheaters out there, they don't admit shit. But I admitted it. And you know what? I told him, like, yeah, I did it. And what? What you gonna do about it now? What you gonna do about it? I'm like, I got tired of you. You didn't do nothing in the house. You don't fucking clean. You don't help around your house. You keep disrespecting your parents. I'm like, who does that? Who does that? You're living under your parents' roof, and you keep disrespecting them. Keep talking back to them. I'm like, you're so lucky that they haven't even kicked you to the curb yet. They're over here trying to help you as much as they can. You should be helping them, And it was just to the point that, he had debts too. He was supposed to, like, pay off his school loans, which he never did. Every year, like every other year that he did his taxes, claiming his daughter, he had like $9,000 one year. Do you know how much he gave me? Shit. He gave me $0. He only bought me an item that was $100. And he bought me, a necklace. But that was it. He never gave me nothing. After a full year that I had to live with you and feed your ass, and you wasn't working, this is the type of shit I get back? Really? So hell no, I wasn't putting up with that shit no more. I'm like, you want to be with me? All right, you could be with me, but I am gonna cheat on you because obviously you're worth nothing. I'm like, you don't value yourself. You're not a clean person. You do everything wrong. Everything is about you. You're so selfish. And he literally spent all his money on clothes, on things that he always wanted. He gave his mom $1,000, for watching his daughter, for being a parent to his own daughter. And it sucks because, when I finally decided to break up completely, guys, it got to the point that when I cheated on him and he found out and everything, he wouldn't even let me go. He's like, okay, you could go ahead and cheat, but as long as you come back at the house. I'm like, this was supposed to be the key to let me free finally. So me cheating was not doing anything. So I decided to just like stop because, having sex with other people kind of disgusts me. It disgusts me. You could catch stuff and yeah. But it just disgusts me, and I just stopped. And everybody has this theory that once is a cheater, always a cheater, and this and that. That's not true. That is not true. That's up to the person if they want to change. You feel me? And I proved him wrong. Like the following 3 years, the last 3 years I was with him, I proved to him that I could change. That I could change for the better of myself. And for some reason, every time I wanted to go to church and, find God at that time, he was not interested. Like, his family was Catholic and I grew up as a Christian Pentecostal. But honestly, I have never seen his parents go to church, maybe once in a while, a couple of times here and there. But like him, he never go to church. He just had no faith in God. And besides that, he always told me that, he believes in witchcraft and, that he thinks he's a warlock himself. And, and I'm like, that kind of like made me think, I'm like, maybe that's the reason why I haven't had, the strength to move on from this relationship, because he probably been doing some type of witchcraft on me for me to keep returning back to him and keep damaging myself. So every year, like, it was really bad, guys. I'm like, I had really severe anxieties. Like, I had panic attacks because we had arguments like almost every day, guys. That's not healthy. And when I got to my breaking point, I broke down and have an anxiety attack. And he's like, damn, I really fucked her up this time. I'm like, yeah, you fucked me up emotionally, and that's the reason why I don't want you back in my fucking life. I don't want to see you in front of me. I don't want to see you, dude. And I know this probably hurts of me saying all of this in public, but you didn't give a fuck about me. You said you love me and all this shit. And now that I'm doing better, now that I moved on with life, and this is the crazy part I want to tell y'all guys. So I bought a house here in Hagerstown like 1 year before we broke up, because I was really wanting to change. I was willing to change and stuff, and I proved to him that I could be a faithful female, you feel me? And I proved him for like 3 years straight. I did not mess around with nobody. I stayed faithful. I tried to change myself. I had to love myself, guys. I love myself, for I could change for the greater good and stuff. And I told him, see, it wasn't that hard for me to change. I'm like, why you can't change? What is your petty excuse why you couldn't change for me? You feel me? And that's the thing that always bugs me, like in my thought. I'm like, why? I'm like, so he didn't really love me. He just wanted to use me. He wanted to use me because of my money. Because I made good money at that time, you feel me? He just wanted to fucking use me, you feel me? And we always set goals and stuff, what we want in the next 5 years and stuff. And I told him straight up fact, be a better man, be a better father. Your daughter needs you. You feel me? And it's difficult for her. The only thing I asked, when we broke up, I'm like, please be there for your daughter. She needs you. And now she's becoming a teenager. She's gonna need you more. I'm like, don't let go of her. I know you going through situation with your baby mama and everything, but your daughter needs you. Because if you don't take care of your daughter, she's going to find love out there with other guys. Because she never got the love and affection from her father, you know. And things happen. Now I found out some other shit, you know. Poor little girl, she's not saved, you know. And he can't blame this on me because I'm not her mother. And a lot of narcissists, they don't like, you know, facing the facts, facing the truth of the damage that they have caused people, the damage that they have caused on their loved ones. And I hope God will forgive you for treating your own daughter that way. I hope God will forgive you for everything you have put me through. I forgive you in the name of Jesus. I forgive you, bro. But seeing you in front of me, face to face, or hearing you on the phone, no more. Once I cut someone off, I cut you off. I'll block you. I'll block you from all my social medias. Even if you want to do a fake account, go for it. All you're just going to see is that I'm living my life. That I have joy. That I'm blessed by God. You want to get blessed? You want to find that joy? Give yourself to God. Just give yourself to God, bro. That's the only way you could change. And just forget about me. Because the person that was back in the day, you didn't cherish me. You didn't love me enough. You didn't love yourself enough. You didn't love your family. You didn't love your daughter. Look, everything just left in the blink of an eye. In the blink of an eye, you lost so many opportunities. And now your best friend, he's enjoying it. Living in this house, I had good times. I remember those good times. And I remember all those bad times, or horrible times. You promised that you will help me keep my house together when I bought this house. You promised that you're going to help me do the yard work. You promised a lot of things. Empty promises. Empty promises. You didn't do shit. You send your best friend to do it for you. Obviously, I was in a wrong relationship with that. With that said, I was in a wrong relationship. And I wasn't kidding that day that I called you on April Fool's Day. Even though we broke up, it was 6 months later. I respected your best friend for the longest minute. I even told you to your face that he was attractive. I like your friend. He's a real man. Look at him. Cutting the yard for us. I was always shy to go tell him to go do that for me because he's the best friend. He's just a person that rents here, you know. You were supposed to do it. But now, you didn't want to do it. Now your best friend is my man now. Your best friend is the love of my life. Your best friend is the person that gave me a family that I always wanted. You know I always wanted kids. 2 or 3 kids. That's all I asked for. What did you say? You never want damn kids. That your daughter was enough. Obviously, we were in 2 different pages. Life is life. I know a lot of people, when they see this video, they're going to be like, oh, shame on her because after dating, you know, the guy, she went on dating the best friend. And homies don't do that to each other and this and that. That's all shit talk. That's all bullshit. Ain't my fault. Ain't my fault. I'm just living life. And if he couldn't treasure me, his friend did. His best friend treasured me. I'm not saying that, I'm treated as a queen or anything. Like, yes, I should be treated as a queen, but at least I have more respect. And he still helps me until this day. Yesterday was our 6-year anniversary. We're still not married, but we're still pushing through together. We're still prospering together. Our relationship, yes, every relationship is a bumpy ride, but nothing's impossible for God. I still haven't stopped praying. I still pray for everybody. I still pray for you, for your family, for your daughter. Hopefully she finds that peace. Hopefully she finds that love. That love that she's missing, her, that fatherly love. But God is big. God is so big. God doesn't forget about his kids, of his orphans. And that little girl, at this rate, she could be an orphan because she never had a father to father her. She didn't have a father to father her. And I pray to God to show her how to love herself. And God is the father of all orphans. God is the father of all orphans, and he will protect his own. So I hope that God is going to bless her. I really hope that she's going to grow out of this damaged life that you brought upon her for not being a great father to her. And I know God is going to punish you, bro. And you better ask God for forgiveness. You better ask God for forgiveness before it's too late. You better find God. You better find God, bro. Because God don't play with his peoples like that. Oh, man, I'm sorry, I got a little bit emotional. It just hurts. I don't want to see any kids go through the same thing that they're going through. I try to be a foster mom to my nephew. And I miss my nephew dearly, but I had to push him out of the house. I had to, make him grow up because nothing is handed to you. And for some reason, all these teenagers, they think, oh, my aunt, my mom, my dad, they're going to give everything I need. It doesn't work like that. I try to man him up. I try to tell him, go look for a job. There's different type of jobs opportunities out there. Try them all until you settle with one. But every time he had a job, he quit after 2 weeks. I'm like, dude, you haven't even had the full experience yet. And then I'm like, okay, go work for a warehouse. You're going to make more money there. Oh, man, he did not. After 2 weeks, he was done. He thought it was a joke giving me, some type of rent money so he could live for a full month with no responsibilities and stuff, and don't do any cleaning, don't do nothing, just eat all my food. And nah, bro, it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way, bro. And I miss you, bro. I really do miss you, and I hope that, this video will get to you, that you'll come back and visit. You have 2 wonderful nephews here that will be more than happy to meet you, bro. Like, for real. I'm like, my house, I told you in the past, if we ever have any fights or anything, I forgive you. My house is always open to you. You want to come and visit, spend the night, come over, Sorry of everything that happened in the past. I was just trying to man you up, get you prepared for this world, this crazy world. Would I do the same with my kids? Yes. And I'm hoping that they're not going to act like that. I will if I have to discipline them, I will. I know raising kids is not easy. It's not easy for everybody. But we have to keep pushing forward. I'm like, because this is what we wanted. We wanted to have family. So we have to do our very best to parent them, to give them values, morals, make sure that they grow right, make sure that they stay, humane, help other people, do good deeds every day. That's what I want to teach my kids, to do good deeds, help the people in need. In due time, when we have a chance, we're going to start, traveling. We're going to travel and we're going to be blessing other people in the name of Jesus. In the name of Jesus, I prophesy that I'm going to be blessing people. We will feed them. We will clothe them. In the name of Jesus, God will provide for me. God is my provider. God is going to be here. He's going to find a way for me to become a missionary. That's my dream from I was a kid, to become a missionary, to visit other states, other countries with people that are really suffering out there, people that are really in hunger, dying in hunger, guys. Stop being selfish, guys. It's time to rise. It's time to help. It's time to extend your hand out and help. Stop being selfish. Sorry I went off topic, but there's just so much things I want to say to y'all. So many things, and I'm going to have to just get things written down, organized, and make separate videos. But with that said, going back to the relationship topic, it's not easy to deal with the narcissist. And thank God, God finally broke me out of that. And I'm extremely happy where I'm at now. I'm happy that I finally prosper. I became something. A lot of people said, "Oh, Ceda's never gonna become a mom and stuff." And I always wonder, how come I never got pregnant during the 8 years that I was with that person? But you know what? I thank God, because it didn't happen at my time. It happened in God's time. Sometimes when we're in relationships with people, we're there just to help them out, get them out of the problems, help them with their issues. And that's what a lot of people need to understand, that we're there to help them. And if it's meant to be that they truly love you and respect you and give you everything you need, and they ask you to marry them, please take your time on getting married too. You never get to really know a person until 5 years later. Don't be in a rush to get married. Look how long it took me to break up with that person. I was with that person almost 8 years, and I never got married with them. Well, thank God I never did. Because everything that I have now, he's going to be like, "Oh, you need to cash up." Everything, marriage is like a business now in these days. People are so quick to get married, and then 3 to 5 years down the road, you find out something that you really don't like, or you disagree with it, and then you want to go ahead and get a divorce and get half of the money and everything of that person. It doesn't work that way. I'm like, you should have took your time when y'all were dating. I'm telling you. And I always tell myself, if I ever, want to get married, I think I'm going to have to do a 10-year thing. A 10-year, just to make sure I'm going to date that person for 10 years before I want to make a big decision like that, to actually settle down and get married with that person. We're already settled down. What I'm talking about, like getting married with that person. Because a marriage is not a joke. It's not a joke. A lot of people joke about that. A marriage is a commitment that you're making for that person, that you're going to be with them while they're sick or they're happy, while they're rich or poor. It's a big commitment. And if you're not ready for that, don't do it. Take your time. Take your time. Don't rush into getting married. And now in these days, when you have kids and you're married, just to give you a heads up, I don't know if y'all know this, but y'all want to file taxes, y'all going to have to file taxes together as a matrimony. And it's not going to be the same amount of money as, filing your kids as a single person. You're going to get a little bit less. So just think about it. But if y'all don't mind, getting a little bit less because you just happy and you want to be with that person, then go ahead and get married. If y'all ready for it. It's a big commitment to say I do. So just be ready. And just stay humble, guys. Stay humble. And I forgive you. I forgive my ex for everything that he put me through. Because, what he put me through, yes, it was hell, but it made me stronger. It made me the woman I am now. And it made me open my eyes that I don't fall for any narcissist shit anymore. I could look right through that person and I know, oh, it's a narcissist. I need to stay away from that person. There's different type of narcissists. Y'all should do some, self-teaching about different type of narcissists. But yeah, that stuff is real. That stuff is really real. But I'll be praying for y'all. That's all I could do. And it was just crazy because, like, the day that we broke up and everything, 6 months later, I decided to hit it off with his best friend. And, my ex decided to make a rapping song about me, of me cheating on him with his best friend. It never happened the way you think. Stop making up stories in your head. Like, stop making me look bad, because that's what happened in the past. I'm like, don't be mad. Don't be mad. Blame yourself. Stay to the facts. Remember all the shit you did to me. I never cheated on you with the best friend. We broke up in November or December, and I was single for 6 months. And then I got with your best friend. Remember that. I never cheated on you with him. Well, I was single at that time. But of course, you want to be the asshole, make yourself look victimized. I'm a victim. She did this to me with my best friend. Grow the fuck up. Please. Please. You even had the guts to make a music video of how you think it happened. You just playing yourself. That's some narcissist shit. That's some real narcissist shit. You make yourself like a victim. Like, for real? Grow up. Grow up. And it's funny that, now that it's been like 6 years and whatever, people would tell me, oh, that he's a different man. He has changed and this and that. Yeah, you could probably change a little bit about yourself, but I'm pretty sure if, I'm not saying that this will happen, but I'm pretty sure if something happened in the future that me and my man's are not together and you probably have an opportunity to get back with me, it will never happen. That will never happen, just to let you know. I will move on with my fucking life. I don't need you. I don't need anybody. I know you will fall back to your old ways. A narcissist can't change. They can't change. They can only change if you have God living in your heart. That's the only way you will change, if you have God living in your heart. And as I know, you haven't changed, because you still got the time to go ahead and keep rapping all these stupid songs about me. You still got time to keep putting on your Facebook all this stupid, shit about me. I ain't blind. I do check up on people. I know it's a waste of time, but I know people don't change. You probably could go ahead and lie to your friends, to the people and that are following you. You could probably fool them, but you cannot fool me. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. A fool can't get fooled again. A fool can't get fooled again. So the joke is on you now. So, happy April Fools. Welcome to reality. Face the truth. Peace and one love.